LAPD will protect our immigrant community. LAPD officers will not take action to determine a person's immigration status and will not arrest someone for their status. And LAPD will not assist with mass deportations. Los Angeles is a city of immigrants, and I know immigrants are being disparaged right now, but I want the people of Los Angeles to know my viewpoint. Our nation was built by immigrants, and LA, such an extraordinary city, because of the people here from literally all over the world.
That right there was Jim McDonnell. He has now been voted to be the next LAPD chief. He previously served as the Los Angeles County Sheriff, and you heard him there saying as he was voted to become the next LAPD chief, quote, "I want to be clear to all people of LA, especially our immigrant community, which is feeling uncertainty and fear. This is a city of immigrants, and my job is to serve you." Now, this comes as at the same day that Donald Trump appointed Tom Homan, one of the authors of Project 2025, to be his border czar. Tom Homan previously gloated and bragged about bloody mass deportations that he and Stephen Miller were going to lead. And Tom Homan is known for someone who is as extreme as you can be in supporting mass deportations, denaturalization, and we did a video on that earlier today. Let me show you, though, from the press conference of Los Angeles Police Department's new chief, Jim McDonnell, what he said during his press conference after being voted on to be the next LAPD chief about mass deportations and what he sees the role of LAPD in carrying it out, or as he says, he will not follow orders to carry out mass deportations. Here's what LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell says. Play this clip.
Hearing impassioned voices from the undocumented community who said they're very fearful of the Trump administration and by extension, your new regime. What can you say to them to calm those nerves and real fear?
Yeah, no, thank you, Laura. That's a great question, and certainly I did hear the passion in there as well as other people I had spoken with. There's a lot of talk across the country on what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. What I can say is here that any talk of mass roundups or the police department being involved in that thing, we don't do that kind of thing. We would alienate much of our population, much of our community by doing anything like that. So it would make no sense for us to do that. We have no interest or desire to do any of those kind of things. We're here to keep everybody safe in all communities throughout our city. And the way we do that is by nurturing trust, building on the relationships we have and making them better, but try and ensure that people understand that when they call the LAPD, there is no additional risk as far as your immigration status. It's all about us getting out there, providing service to you, and doing it in the best manner that we can possibly.
Then a little bit later in the press conference, the LAPD chief Jim McDonnell, also, is discussing the mass deportations. In my own view, I think he's being very naive here. I think intentionally so, because I'm about to show you the clips of what Tom Homan is saying and what Donald Trump is going to do. But I just want to show you that at least you have here a police department chief in a city made up of immigrants saying that he would not carry out any orders to do the mass deportation. Here, play this clip.
Do you anticipate pressure from ICE to cooperate with them? You were around back in 2016, and I think there was pressure back then, or at least there were requests, right?
There were requests, and I think that was a different day. That the relationships that we have with DHS overall, ICE included, they know what their expectations of us are and us of them. They know what our rules are of how we operate in the city of Los Angeles, as many other urban areas around the country do. So I don't think there'll be pressure as you might expect there to be. There may be some from the administration, but what I've heard are, withholding federal grant money or so forth for cities that may not cooperate in that fashion. But we've got our rules, we've got our values. We're going to move forward the way that we've done, for many, many years now, trying to develop and build on that trust that we have with all of our communities.
Now, of course, we talked about this earlier in the day as well when Tom Homan was appointed as Trump's border czar, which we said going back months was going to happen. He's someone who authored Project 2025's bloody mass deportation section and denaturalization section. Let me be clear. When I talk about denaturalization, that should mean, just to be clear with you, I'm telling you what it means. If you believe you are a citizen because you are a child of immigrants and you were born in the United States, they don't believe you're a citizen, you will be deported as well, and your kids will get deported as well. That's what denaturalization means, just to be clear. So if you said, oh, not me, I've got my papers. Nope, you're one of the first to go. Mass deportation now was the slogan at the Republican National Convention. And just so you see, again, hear who this border czar is and the types of things that he said, here he is on Fox talking about the deportation program. Play this clip.
This is historic.
And they can't tell you how many Hamas and Hezbollah or Islamic Jihads are also coming across our border. Wait till things start blowing up. Tom, if Trump wins and goes back to the White House, would you go back?
I promised President Trump when he announced that he goes back, I go back, and I'm going to run the biggest deportation operation this country's ever seen. Because these millions of people being released in this country, 9 out of 10 will get an order removal based on immigration court data. A judge orders them removed. We're going to find them and we're going to remove them. There's no consequence. We can't fix the border. We're going to have a consequence in the Trump administration.
Holman goes back with Trump. That's another campaign ad. Tom, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
So I just want to add really quickly, that man that you see on the screen who was just talking to Brian Kilmeade, Tom Homan, is the person who came up with the family separation policy under the Trump administration. Stephen Miller was a cheerleader for that policy, but Tom Homan is the man who came up with it. The Biden administration has added some safeguards to prevent something like that from happening again, but a vote for Trump is a vote for Tom Homan. He just said it.
So as you may have known, I just became a dad, so it's important for me to protect my family's future and just give myself peace of mind when it comes to life insurance. It's why I use Policy Genius. Policy Genius makes finding and buying life insurance simple. You may even hear my baby girl in the background right there. That's Jimena. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. I'm doing it for Jimena, and I know you're doing it for the loved ones in your life as well. You can compare quotes from America's top insurers side by side for free, with absolutely no hidden fees. They've got an incredible licensed support team that helped walk me through what I needed fast so I could understand everything that's out there. And look, life insurance is a form of financial planning, and Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It's something that I trust, and I know it's something you can trust as well. So do it for all of the Jimenas out there in your life. Secure your families tomorrow so you have the peace of mind today. Head to policygenius.com/Meidas or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save. That's policygenius.com/Meidas, policygenius.com/Meidas. I'm doing it for all of them. Now, Tom Homan was also in charge of the family separation policy, where children and family members were ripped apart from their families under the first Trump administration. And one of the things that Tom Homan had said, and this is a direct quote, that he's going to make shit much crazier this time around. If you believe that was bad, he said, you're not going to... I can't wait to show you the shit we're going to do this time around. And a direct quote from Tom Homan. Here he was when AOC asked her questions. Play this clip.
Through this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Now, I show you the video first of Jim McDonnell, the sheriff, it used to be LA County Sheriff, now the police chief for the city of Los Angeles. And he's saying, well, we're not going to carry out the orders. Well, I guess that's helpful to indicate, but let's be clear. What Donald Trump said he was going to do is that he was going to send the National Guard and the United States military to carry out the operation. He also said he would rely on local police, but by and large, it was going to turn the military by invoking the 1789 Alien Enemies Act, where he believes that he quotes that there's an invasion taking place. And it's not just people who are criminals. Look, we all agree. No one wants criminals to be here. People who are here unlawfully, who are criminals or terrorists. Everybody agrees they should be deported. They are being deported. And by the way, just so you have the stats, under Biden right now, there's actually, in the last year, less border crossings than when Trump was in office. So I know we don't live in a fact-based world anymore, but that's actually the facts right here. It's also a fact that Donald Trump and the MAGAs were the ones who killed a bipartisan border deal when President Biden was in office, when Democrats wanted to try to help solve the problem. Because let's be clear what they want: mass bloody deportations. What does that mean? The military knocking at your door, whether you committed crimes or not, whether you believe to be a citizen or not, and deporting you, dragging you, separating families. That's what they're going to do. We have to prepare for it, and we have to be ready to show you where it's all happening. And also what we see happening here is you're seeing with LAPD Chief McDonnell. So what's going to happen? You're going to have LAPD versus United States military. You think families are going to just go voluntarily? All right, take me. Or you think that there's going to be massive kind of conflict that's probably going to take place. And already you see the confusion taking place. Just to remind you, Stephen Miller at his speech in Madison Square Garden saying America is for Americans only, the same way Hitler said German is for Germans only. Play this clip.
The cartels are gone. The criminal migrants are gone. The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only. One man. And that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for democracy.
And when Stephen Miller says stuff like that, it's like, dude, what are you even talking about? Like, America is a melting pot. Stephen Miller, you are the grandson or great-grandson of immigrants, as am I, as are most Americans, as is Donald Trump. Melania is an immigrant. Donald Trump's son is an anchor baby. And let's be very clear as well. We need, for our economy, immigrants are contributing to our economy greatly. I know this may be like a controversial things to say. It shouldn't. We should address the fact that immigrants are doing jobs that Americans are not doing. And but for immigrants, guess what's going to happen? Inflation, which is now under control, is going to go back up because who's going to be doing the work? Who's going to be doing the work that the immigrants are doing, whether it's in construction, whether it's in the fields, whether it's service-related industries, whether it's at the restaurants? Who's doing those jobs right now? And immigrants are contributing to our society. And I agree, criminals, terrorists, yeah, this is not controversial. Of course, deport them. That's not what they are saying right here. I'll show you this as well. This right here is Steve Bannon also telling you what he's going to do. Mass deportations. He said, if you didn't want mass deportations, don't vote for Trump. If you want mass deportations, remember the word is mass. Everybody and their kids, whether criminal or not. Here, play this clip.
This is why we talk so much about like Project 2025. That this is where the work gets done. These radicals have have gamed the system so that we get 10 million illegal alien invaders. And no, they're not newcomers. Newcomers would imply that they're going to stick around. They're not sticking around. They're going to get mass deportations are going to start. If you don't like that, then don't vote for President Trump.
So that's what we're kind of dealing with right now. We'll follow this every step of the way. I'm glad that Police Chief Jim McDonald's out there on the day that he was sworn in, making those comments. But already we're seeing the same day McDonald, Homan, it's going to create a bunch of chaos, at best confusion, but more likely a lot of chaos. And are people going to follow these orders to rip little babies away from their family and rip mothers away from their kids and rip fathers away? That's the America? Not the America that I know. That's why every step of the way, we're going to be with you on the front lines fighting back. Every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.